Hi, my name's John, and I'm here to talk to you about careers in aviation. I'm an airline pilot, and I work for one of the largest airlines in the UK. We fly holiday routes and regional routes all around Europe, going as far as places such as Turkey, Cyprus, Black Sea, occasionally over to the United States, and all the way down to places like Canaries and occasionally into Africa.
So my education has been long and varied, I would describe it, and that's not actually required for an airline job. The A levels I did were geography, chemistry, biology, and general studies, and then went off to university. My initial plan was to join the Royal Air Force, and I did zoology with veterinary medicine because I needed to have a subject that wasn't aviation, just in case it didn't all work out. The Royal Air Force didn't work out. I became a school teacher briefly. And then after 2 years, very difficult job, I changed direction, went back to university and into laboratory medicine, where I did a master's and a doctorate. Ended up in the hospital being an examiner and assessor and quite senior. I've never really given that up. I still do a little bit, pull the odd shift and help the hospital out, which works very well for both of us. I keep my registration, keep my skills up, and they get a very experienced examiner turning up to handle difficult situations. Meanwhile, while I was doing that, I was learning to fly, and I did that all along, right from the very start. And I worked part-time as a flying instructor for a good number of years, and then eventually got to a point where I could take an airline job. And so that's exactly what I did. I simply switched the careers around, did the airlines full-time, did the hospital part-time, and I've never looked back there. And I like having that varied life of both the airline job and the hospital job. It keeps me grounded.
What are the good bits and the bad bits of the job? Well, my favourite bits are the travel and, quite frankly, to sit and look out the window. I love the views. As we travel all around Europe, we fly over mountains and volcanoes, cities, and all sorts of other bits of scenery, and it's fantastic. And it's surprising how quick you get used to what you're looking at. Just like on any car journey, if you do it often enough, you start to recognise all the features and know your way around.
The ability to adapt to change. It's not unusual to turn up to work in the morning and then be told that you're going somewhere else. If you like the kind of job where you do the same thing every single day, flying is probably not the job for you. You have to be able to just switch up a gear where required and move on and put things behind you. I guess my main advice really would be to be yourself and to know yourself. I think it's really, really important to be the kind of person who looks critically at yourself and tries to improve. And that will come out really, really strongly in any interview when you turn up and you can demonstrate how you've been able to do that and turn negatives into positives. You don't have to necessarily be the cleverest person in the room. You just have to be the person who works the hardest and applies yourself the best.